think what happened on October 7th was an absolute atrocity, was 1,000 atrocities. I think at the same time we condemn those atrocities, we have to condemn the atrocities that happen every day to Palestinians in the West Bank.
We're back with senior advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Mark Regev. He's also the former Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom. So certainly taking out Hamas's leadership, I understand the point of that, but the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza says 2,800 Palestinians have been killed, and somewhere between a quarter and a third of them are children. That's not Hamas's leadership.
Can I please offer a word of caution? Now, I know that there is real suffering in Gaza. There's a war going on, and innocent people are getting caught up in a very difficult situation. I don't minimize that. But you have to take with a grain of salt any information that comes out of the Hamas-controlled Ministry of Health in Gaza. That has to be said. Gaza is not a democracy. There's not an independent health bureaucracy that is trying to do its best. Every doctor you speak to, every hospital director you speak to, works under the gun of Hamas. They are not independent. If they speak out of turn, they will pay a price. It's like speaking to a doctor in North Korea or a doctor in the former Soviet Union. They don't have independent opinions. They have to follow the party line, and if not, they face violent consequences.
من المسؤولين الإسرائيليين خلال الأيام الماضية.
ما أنت مدافع؟
رجع أنا بشدور.
بس ما أنت بشدور.
كما
ما أنت
نرى
مدافع. ما أنت مدافع. לא מעניין אותי אם אתה בשידור.
מדווח מה אומר דובר צה"ל.
מה אומר דובר צה"ל? מקווה מאוד שאתם אומרים דברים טובים. הבנת אותי? מקווה מאוד שאתם אומרים דברים טובים, וכל החמאס האלה צריכים לשחוט אותם. הבנת אותי? בסדר. כי אם אתם לא תדווחו את האמת, אוי ואבוי לכם.
الآن لمراسلنا أحمد راوشة خلال مشاركته معنا على الهواء من أسدود. ما الذي كان يقوله لك أحمد؟
عناصر من الشرطة الإسرائيلية يحاولون أو يراقبون ما الذي نتحدث، وخرج مرة واحدة للصراخ بهذه الطريقة وللتهديد بطبيعة الحال.
تهديد جديد للطواقم الصحفية كما نرى على الشاشة. عنصر من الشرطة الإسرائيلية يتدخل أثناء مشاركة زميلنا.
I was part of the human rights vetting process for arms going to Israel, and a charity called Defense of Children International Palestine drew our attention at the State Department to the sexual assault, actually the rape of a 13-year-old boy that occurred in an Israeli prison in the Moskobia in Jerusalem. We examined these allegations. We believed they were credible. We put them to the government of Israel. And you know what happened the next day? The IDF went into the DCIP offices and removed all their computers and declared them a terrorist entity.
So those numbers, they might be true, they might not be true. Hamas, of course, has an interest in exaggerating civilian casualties.
So let's assume that you...
And of course, Hamas doesn't say how many of them were combatants, of course, correct?
Right. So let's assume that you take out the Hamas leadership and their ability to commit atrocities. Ambassador Herzog told me yesterday that Israel does not want to reoccupy Gaza after the mission is done. So what happens after Hamas is destroyed? Who would be in charge of Gaza?
So first of all, maybe almost anything would be better than Hamas. I mean, if there were illusions that Hamas had somehow moderated its position, that the responsibility of government of being ruling over 2.3 million people forces Hamas to be a more rational behavior. Religious, secular, what their political views are. They kill us because we're Israelis. They kill us because we are Jews.
Oh, if you say that, you're anti-Semitic because you don't like the idea of Israel defending itself because Israel is the land of the Jews. That's bullshit, and I just won't entertain that.
I think it is vital that atrocities not happen to anyone, not sexual atrocity, not sexual violations, not any kind of gross violation of human rights. We are looking at a situation where there is so much dehumanification, where people are not seen for the value that they have. And I think that's true whether you're talking about those who are attacked on their kibbutz or those who are attacked in their homes in Gaza or in the West Bank. What we really need is to center the human beings who are at the core and who are suffering so much in this conflict.
Do you believe that in order to have some kind of peaceful resolution, so this never happens again, that Hamas has to be removed from power?
How do you neutralize Hamas? The answer is through a lasting political settlement that provides a Palestinian state, not a process that promises one, holds out the promise and never gets to it. You neutralize Hamas by showing the Palestinian people that if they want to succeed, the route is there for them to do so through a political process rather than through violent resistance. Until we have that political process in place, you cannot defeat the Palestinian resistance.